to My Bitcoin Story with me, Dea. And then today we have our special guest from El Salvador, Enrique Berrios. He's a, yeah, I can say it correctly.
Yes, correct.
So Enrique, he's a dentist in El Zonte, El Salvador. And right now he has in an initiative called Bitcoin Smile, which is an initiative to raise funds to provide dental care for low-income people in El Salvador. And it's very, very inspiring story. I read it in a Bitcoin magazine, a few weeks back, and I thought like, this is a very cool initiative, how to use Bitcoin, and not only just, to preserve our wealth, but also to, provide dignity, provide opportunity for low-income people. So welcome to the show, Enrique.
Thank you so much, There. It's my pleasure to meet you. Greetings from El Salvador. It's the country of the smile. I always say that it's like the valley of the hammocks because it's earthquaking every day. So it's shaking, because our volcanic land. So thank you. Thank you for having me. And here we are to talk about the Bitcoin story. That it's like quite magical.
Exactly. So yeah, because this is all about Bitcoin story. But before we go to that, maybe many of the audience is not really familiar with, El Salvador and especially El Zonte, where you are at right now. So yeah, tell us about your story. Like, how did you end up in El Zonte, and how is El Zonte look like?
Okay, I'm a Salvadoran. I'm from El Salvador, that it's like the heart of Central America. Here we have 7 million population and maybe 1.5 million more in the United States and the whole world too. So basically, the country, it's divided in 14 departments. So El Zonte, for example, it's in La Libertad department. That it's one of those 14. La Libertad, it has part in the city and it has part in the Pacific coastal community. So El Zonte, basically, it's a small town that it's part a municipality called Chiltiupan, and Chiltiupan, the municipality has 12 more small villages like El Zonte, or where El Zonte it's included. So El Zonte, or the whole municipality, has 12,000 people. And El Zonte, that it's the beach part and a part of the mountain as well, is approximately 3,000 people. So El Zonte, it's at La Libertad, part of a Pacific coastal community full of five-star waves for surfing. It's worldwide known because of the surf waves and because of like the hospitality it has with tourists and local people. So it's where I'm located. And when was my first time here? It was approximately 17 years ago, back in 2005, when I finished my school or my university. And in order to get your degree, in my case, as a doctor of dental surgery, I have to go to work with a work unit from the Ministry of Health. So they sent me in that moment to the highest part of the mountain here in La Libertad, the department, that it's the mountainside of where El Zonte is located, approximately. So it was about 20 kilometers away from where I am, that it's El Zonte. And you have to work from 1 year the whole year in order to get your degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to work in a radio station as a broadcaster and media production and stuff like that, a totally different thing in my life. So I was like pretty embedded in the city. But this, in this moment, was like uh, a decision because I left everything behind that I grew up with,
Mm-hmm.
and I just decided to switch the comfort zone that I had in the city and with these jobs, to came to a real village, to
Mm.
came with work with a remote area that
Mm-hmm.
it quite forgot, you know. So I switched, I came, and I decided to stay in El Zonte because in El Zonte it's the centric city between the capital, San Salvador, and my work unit, that it was the highest part of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So I found out rustic beach with volcanic sand and, full of backpackers and full of like an empowered small community and things like that. And for me, in my 25 years old, so it was like a magnificent opportunity to get rid of the city, the noisy city, and what I grew up with,
Mm-hmm.
to change and pursue like my degree in this case, and finally my personal growth and
Mm.
my and as I nurture myself as
Mm-hmm.
well,
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I came here to El Zonte, and I never left. In
Wow.
that moment, I decided to rent a room, small
Mm-hmm.
room, and basically, when you start to work in the community, like El Sonte, in this case, 17 years ago, you got to see firsthand, and
Mm-hmm.
how they live
Mm-hmm.
and their conditions that sometimes they are poor conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So it was shocking, but it was a life-changing situation for me, and that room where I decided to stay, seduced by the ocean for surf and maybe to hang out with foreigners and locals, became the first dental clinic in the area.
Wow. So they don't
And
have any
still,
dental office in El Zonte, even though it's like a
no,
tourist place.
no, not at all,
Wow. Wow. Okay.
But the closest clinic they
Mm-hmm.
have as a public clinic, it's maybe 15 kilometers away from here. But as a community or part of the municipality, a private one,
Mm-hmm.
it never exists.
Mm.
So basically, I founded the first dental practice here with my heart.
Okay.
And it was like, it was hard as well. You're looking for your independency and to grow as a person, things like that. So
Mm.
it sweat, blood, and tears as well, but it worth it.
Wow. 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 And you said that El Zonte has roughly around 3,000 people. And when
Yes.
you work in El Zonte, like from 16 years ago, um, how, like, what was the condition of the people in El Zonte?
Bueno, well, here we have 300 kilometers from coast,
Mm-hmm.
in the country. A lot of Pacific coastal communities that they
Mm-hmm.
are poor. Basically, here, the 92% of people suffer from cavities.
Mm.
The 68, 70% of them suffer from periodontal problems.
Mm-hmm.
And roughly 45% of them live in poorer conditions. So this uh, and lack of jobs, education, basic needs like water, electricity, and things like that or a formal job in this case,
Mm-hmm.
a dignity, a salary with dignity too, you know. It's like it's hard, you know. So you could consider this, and you could add malnutrition and poorly health conditions as well. So it was shocking in that moment. I got to work with orphanages as well, and couple or several churches from different religions. You know, the thing is, or the goal, it's always work for for human beings, you
Yeah.
know, and for our equals,
Yeah.
we call them. So yeah, we got to see a lot of problems, you know. So that's why we got in charge to provide some dignity and confidence to them through oral rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm.
It's barely, um, or it's quite impossible sometimes for a person like this access to
Mm-hmm.
a health care or medical care, you know, in great conditions. So because of that, we decided to put our skill set in
Mm-hmm.
aid humanity, and in this case, to help with kids mainly. You know, we the lack of prevention or preventive projects
Mm-hmm.
in the society, and in this case a remote village, you know, it's like decreasing their project of life, that it
Mm-hmm.
was decreased because of the civil war we've been through 30 years ago. But
Mm-hmm.
this is people as well, not just kids, but it's people that during decades never had the attention because their kids flew away from the Civil War to another country, and the project of those families, you know, were like destroyed. What if we have all these people that were killed or flew away, or it was a split like as a project in their society? We could
Mm-hmm.
have better skill set people helping their local community, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like wasting their energy in or whatever, you know. But the thing is, those projects trying to provide dignity, confidence, and recover, you know, that hope that in one moment maybe it was lost, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and never going to get back of what you release on your life in the early ages, you know. So
Yeah.
basically, things like that, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's putting our skill set here. Um, Sometimes people told me that I'm crazy trying to do this for this community or for these people. That where is my prestige, you know? Because they always dream about having a dental practice with prestige and things like that, or
Yeah.
just material things, you know. But got to see a life-changing situation for a forgotten community, and in this
Mm-hmm.
case, elder people. It's like quite marvelous to see the change in there, or the spark of hope and the confidence that you restore in these people through a
Yeah.
dental practice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there is a saying in Indonesia, for example, that it's better to get a broken heart than broken teeth because because like like
Hey,
dental like this part is really sensitive. It connect with everything. You cannot eat properly if you don't have a good teeth, like yeah, and then you lose your confidence maybe if you have like not such a well teeth. So
it
yeah.
is, and here you got to see people that lost their temporary and permanent teeth at early age. Maybe at
Mm-hmm.
15 years old, a girl or a boy has no teeth at all. So in order of their growing at biotype,
Mm-hmm.
their bones, their face, their confidence, it's lost because at early age they're like getting radical treatments, just
Mm-hmm.
corrective treatments,
Mm-hmm.
but they are left at their will, to rehabilitate themselves, that it's not affordable sometimes, and how they have to to create themselves like opportunities to to face everything. And in this
Mm-hmm.
case, if you have malnutrition from not having teeth and problems in your growth or in your developing as a human being, it's like pretty hard to get it on all the stages. So that's why we are in charge of this. Normally, the people that we find and we work with, it's people that has no teeth. Sometimes we find out about rotten teeth, or people that never got to go to never went to the dentist at all, never had like any attention, no toothpaste, no toothbrush. But
Okay.
sometimes their top of mind, it's a sugar cane drink or something,
I
so
see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes it's about education as well.
Yeah, yeah. So now it's coming to like really interesting part, which is you're as a dentist, and the dentist is not very much not kind of type of people who probably wants to get Bitcoin. So like I mean, you normally it's just like like investor and people who work in a stock market, etc. But can you tell me like how is your Bitcoin story? Like how did you first time know about Bitcoin and then had this idea like, wow, we can use Bitcoin for raising money for these people?
Well, back in 2014, I was visiting San Francisco, California.
Mm-hmm.
I studied digital dentistry, that is the use of computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing in the dental industry, So you became your own dental digital laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
So once there in my visits to the US and working with softwares and living in the ocean, I got to visit like Santa Cruz, in this case,
Mm-hmm.
California, that it's like known by its waves as
Yeah.
well. So I met friends that they were working in San Jose. So after that, I had a friend, a girlfriend as well, that I was visiting in San Jose, California. So always like the books, the talkings, and the things are like developing softwares,
Mm-hmm.
technical writers, things like that. So that's what I met Bitcoin in that
Mm-hmm.
moment. As a Salvadoran, you have to deal with cash. We used to
Yeah.
have the colon. We have the dollar currency since 2001.
Yeah.
But the thing is that here we use basically cash.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of people, approximately 70% of people that are unbanked and
Mm-hmm.
never going to have a bank account at all,
Mm-hmm.
or full or fulfill any requirement. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so you have to deal with cash here in the country. You need the paper, so it never catch my attention in that moment. I just said it's another flat platform pro for the American society to
Yeah.
get goods and services. They have credit cards, cashback, things, anything.
Mm-hmm.
So never catch my attention. But once I left California in this way, I had the opportunity to go to Boston as
Mm-hmm.
well. So it's like a technological situation I was involved. So Bitcoin came back to me, my life.
Yeah.
So in that case, maybe it was in 2018, where I was visiting as well, working with digital dentistry and implants. So I decided to get like my first wallet, and get my first satoshis,
Yeah.
and learn, because I am still learning
Mm-hmm.
every day. It's like a lot of information you have to digest and to filtrate and to get the good things for everything. And so this is where I match like my career with Bitcoin, because in both of them you need technology. You trust in them, the top-notch technology, and it's easy for you or convenient for your patient and yourself to get or to accept payments from your
Yeah, yeah,
smartphone as
yeah.
well. It's confidential, so it's like similar to the basic stuff or the basic requirements you have as a dental practitioner with the patient, the
Mm-hmm.
confidentiality, and the convenience to get treatments like this, and to match like the profession, the technology from both of them. But in that moment, it was just like to learn how about Bitcoin's volatility,
Yeah,
volatility it has, and how the market and things like that.
yeah.
So back in 2019, I think, or the beginning of 2020, when the pandemic came, with COVID-19, here in El Zonte, specifically, started a circular economy
Mm.
based on Bitcoin, because we were like in the Civil War, with curfews and limited transportation, and you were not allowed to work. So
Mm.
basically, I didn't work during 8 months.
Wow. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
here the community, or in this case, the Bitcoin Beach community that it's known El Sonte, got this donation, and they started to like channel this donation through lightning wallets.
Mm-hmm.
First, if I understand, it was a wallet of Satoshi in this
Mm-hmm.
case, but several months later, we've got like, or they have like the Bitcoin Beach wallet, that it's the
Mm-hmm.
lightning wallet created specifically for this pride, that it was like the circular economy. So in that moment, I decided to get a Lightning wallet.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have an on-chain wallet, but now I have the Lightning wallet for the everyday payment, or small goods and services, so small amounts, not just for trading or to save
Mm-hmm.
or as an asset, but in this moment, it was like digital money, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So in that moment, knocked my door, my first patient, paying in Bitcoin, that it was the guy who Bitcoin magazine
Yeah.
article post,
Yeah, yeah.
so Adrian, a 65-year-old person, a
Mm.
Salvadoran hard worker, working from construction worker and working worker from the land, and the whole life working. So he said, Enrique, or a doctor, I want some dentures, because I saved some money to
Mm.
get the dentures I dream of, he
Yeah.
said. And well, we're talking about knowing him and like practically creating like his case.
Mm.
I asked him how he had saved,
Yeah.
and he said, "Oh, I save in Bitcoin." He said so. It's the first patient requesting if he could access to in this case a dental service
Yeah.
uh, from well, like he knew that he could use his smartphone He is a person that doesn't know how to read or how to write, but he knows how to use a smartphone. So he used to have a previous education about a lightning wallet in this
Wow.
case, and the use of Bitcoin as a tangible digital money,
Yeah,
not
wow.
just for saving. So he was like an inspiration for us.
Mm-hmm.
He paid in that moment for his dentures in Bitcoin. It's basically a historical transaction we did here,
Yeah.
or we made in the office. And basically, Adrian was the spark with Bitcoin Magazine guys, and in this case, Bitcoin Smiles initiative. That it was this other group that I met with when we knew that Bitcoin is going to become a legal tender here in the country, maybe 7 months ago or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So because we know, and because of during these years, I have a documentation of the communities and the patients. We know that it's a lot of elder people,
Mm-hmm.
that people that it's forgotten. In this case, it's up to 60 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided that people like Adrian
Mm-hmm.
could have access to a quality dental practice, with dignity. We could be inclusive. We could be equal to everyone else, providing a service, in this case, a dental service that it's unaffordable sometimes, or the
Mm-hmm.
prices are pretty high, so we decide to provide quality and trying to provide them with the best dentures or the best critical care we could provide to them with the help of Bitcoin. So
Mm-hmm.
in that moment, the breed of Adrian's first patient, the announcement of the Bitcoin legal tender here in the country, and the catch the attention of the media, in this case, Bitcoin magazines and programmers and cryptographers and other people, it's where we thought about getting this initiative that now it looks like a great organization in the near future.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, it's actually coming from the patient itself, yeah. Like it's not like it's based on the use case because someone wants to come and then they want to pay in Bitcoin. So you see that this is an opportunity and also a very cool initiative. Uh
Because
and
we are living in changing times here.
mhm,
So basically, the technology helped these people to get small donations
mhm,
and exchange for goods and services. So create this circular economy and see or witnessing people that never get access before. And
mhm,
because of Bitcoin, now they have it. It's a life-changing situation in our approach,
mm. Yeah, yeah.
dental practitioner. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you,
No,
or
no, it's okay.
I'm improving my English as well.
None of us have English as our first language, so it's all right.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah.
So also yeah, I mean it's very interesting. So you said that the Bitcoin Beach provide this circular economy. People got introduced with Lightning wallet. So yeah, people can start transacting outside of dollar and just use Bitcoin. And how is it like how people in El Zonte use Bitcoin right now? Like, is there a lot of people going for a dental service and paying Bitcoin right now to you?
Actually, they are. Bitcoin increased like my visits in 20% or 25% more.
Hmm.
Normally in this local town of about 3,000 people, many of these families get their salaries in Bitcoin.
Wow.
So sometimes, or maybe ever, in all moments, they know how to switch from dollars to Bitcoin
Bitcoin.
in their own wallet, you
Mm,
know. So they sometimes they don't want to get the cash, they don't want to exchange Bitcoin for dollars. They are just want to use Bitcoin in a daily basis.
yeah.
So here in El Sonte, you could pay a dental service. In my case, you could pay for a food in any restaurant
Restaurant, yeah.
or almost any restaurant in the beach. You could pay water, electricity bills, your university, transportation
Mm-hmm.
with a QR code reader, with
Mm-hmm.
your smartphone. And you could get like food, in this case, pupusas, that it's one of our national dish, that it's really delicious, so that maybe it cost $1. So you are paying with your smartphone, with a Lightning wallet in a daily basis, and it's increasing at a slow rate. More people are being educated, at
Mm-hmm.
least in this area,
Mm-hmm.
because in a country level, there is a lack of education as well.
Mm,
Partly uh, of they are not providing so much information, and partly of like the numbness of the population as well to
mm,
new things, or to nurturing themselves, in something that it's going to help them, or
mm-hmm.
lose them, whatever. There is
Yeah, yeah.
pros and cons, so basically every day. And sometimes I go. Sometimes, well, we don't use cash anymore. Sometimes
Mm,
we are just like transfer cents, a quarter, a dollar, $10 on the Lightning Network. So it's a huge experiment,
mm-hmm.
but this experiment got to be like the circular economy
Mm,
in this touristic side of the beach,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it's pretty much our currency
Yeah, wow.
more than the dollars.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's always this let's say a Bitcoin hater said that Bitcoin never going to be money. People don't really use it in like there's like people who deny that actually a lot of people using Bitcoin for daily transactions. So here you go, like in El
Yes,
Zonte.
you could go to the barber shop, you could go to the grocery store, you could pay hotels, transportation, actually real estate. It's booming here, and it's
Mm.
on Bitcoin. So uh, gas stations, things like that. So it's pretty much working as a currency.
But
Yes.
but it's very interesting as well because your first patient, Adrian, like he not only just thinking Bitcoin as money, but also he's saving his wealth in Bitcoin despite the volatility.
Yes, actually, he hodled,
He
right?
hodl, yeah.
Like they said. And a person like him, or like every one of us, need like the papers, in order
Mm,
to be like, oh, I have money,
mm,
So it has to be tangible, or to touch it to say that I had.
yeah,
And sometimes these people, maybe $10, $20, it's a big difference
mm,
from our daily life. We
yeah,
need
yeah,
the money. It's like today I have 30, tomorrow I have 15. What am I going to do with the other half that I
yeah.
lose? So actually, because of that, he was like he knew about the power and the value of saving money, or the real value of money.
Mm,
So it's like I admire him
mm,
because he saved more than to exchange it, or to be afraid to what's going to happen with his money, with Bitcoin, So he got educated
mm,
about it. So he deal with, and he changed his life with savings in Bitcoin, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
admiring.
Yeah. And it makes a lot of difference if people can accept payments in Bitcoin, right? So they can receive salary in Bitcoin, they can spend. So it's not really yeah, maybe it's a bit different. Like in Indonesia, we like our regulation only allow us to use Bitcoin as an asset. So it's not for legal tender. It's not like
Yeah,
you cannot accept payment in Bitcoin. You cannot yeah, sell your good and service in Bitcoin. So it's a bit different case. Like when you spend your Bitcoin, you feel like, oh my God, that's it's a bit different.
yes, it is because you want to hold it,
Mm,
and you want to save in Bitcoin, and in the near future, maybe get your profits if you want to, or anything like that. But yes, it's like we have to hold it. Sometimes you said, "Oh, I'm losing what it means a lot of money in the future," but it's
mm,
not about money. It's about the first opportunity the humanity has
mhm,
in our recent history,
mhm.
to change our humanity, to see or to be the change we want to see.
Yeah.
And it's basically helping other human beings that never got access before, now have a tool that could be a spark or the relief or the salvation of many of people that it was dreaming about changing the world. So
Mm,
having this digital tool, Bitcoin, and as an asset, as a saving account, whatever, it's tangible how you could change the world and your reality for good.
yeah, exactly. Because it cannot be inflated. So like it's very, very rare money. Like I can say, like, it's a quite precious. And you as a dentist, I understood that your income normally come from how many patient that you can treat, right? It's a profession. It's not like you don't receive like a monthly salary. It depends on how many patient that you got.
It's
So
true. We have no salary.
yeah.
It's what we got. It's like an honor to our work.
Yeah,
So sometimes you have it, sometimes you have not.
and it's very interesting because I think like dentist, doctor, like people who are working, having this profession where you need to have clients to earn income. I think you guys are the people who need Bitcoin the most as well, because it's not like you have the salary that for sure, like per month, right? Like what do you think about that? Like, do you think the dentist doctor should own Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's like it's a good thing.
Mhm,
For me, Bitcoin changed my life.
mhm,
We've been through 17 years old, or through 17 years
mhm,
in a row, like knocking doors and trying to get some help, or to get donations, work with impoverished communities, trying to knock doors of even the government, private practice people. And we never get the attention, or maybe, well, we never get the attention.
mhm,
But Bitcoin, in this case, appeared in an immaculate way, in a tangible way that made us to get these people access to a dental practice or a life-changing situation in their case. So people that never going to get a bank account, never had like the access or the transportation to go to get a goods and services, with Bitcoin, with this tool, so own Bitcoin as a dentist, maybe if you have, like, if you are not like risking
Mm-hmm.
your food or your family situation or things like that as an asset, maybe you could get something, that it's going to improve what you could offer for these people, but basically in a country like ours, it's go day by day,
Mm,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
forging your future every hour,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like it's sometimes it's unexpected the situations you have to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
but basically Bitcoin made me easy the way I face the problems of every day. So it could be a tool that it's going to save me from different issues in my life. I
Yeah.
consider in the practice, for example.
And allow you to expand more, like expand more equipment, expand more education as well, like different skill set, right? If you have like something that grow up in value like Bitcoin.
It is. One of our dream here in the office, it's to switch from conventional dental practice to a
Mm-hmm.
digital dental practice.
Mm-hmm.
So that involves like 3D printers,
Mm-hmm.
milling machines, softwares, computers,
Mm-hmm.
and why not?
Yeah.
Digital money in this case,
Yeah.
Bitcoin, So it could create a platform more
Mm-hmm.
than the value. In this case, the value could be a platform
Mm-hmm.
uh, from the whole world working for improving the oral health
Mm-hmm.
of people anywhere in the world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be like a great network like Bitcoin is,
Yeah.
and create more tangible, more with sovereignty, you could be your own bank to develop great things. You could have sovereignty, and you could be permissionless in create radical movements or radical projects in order to make your community evolve to a better humanity, so basically that it's like a match between our profession and like the asset,
Wow.
Bitcoin,
It's very inspiring. It's very inspiring. Like, yeah, it's something different. Like, like see Bitcoin in a very useful case, and not only just to enrich ourselves, but also enrich the communities. Very.
It's true. It's true. So if you invest in confidence, in dignity, or invest in these people that as a project, maybe they lose that dynamic decades ago. Maybe you could take them back on track, at least in this moment of their life. And maybe like we could see another breed or another seed from these people in the future for their communities, so that's the goal,
Mhm.
changing lives through oral rehabilitation here, and basically we improve the way they get their food, and it's like increasing even the dignity in them, and it empowers them to continue with the community and the development of this small village.
Awesome, awesome. So I think we also are in the end of our podcast. So Enrique, tell us, like, how can we help Bitcoin smile?
Well, bitcoinsmiles.org, it's currently active. You could visit the page, and we accept, Bitcoin payments, on chain or Lightning payments. We have wonderful and marvelous donors, and we have more than 935 contributors
Mhm.
at this moment. You could donate from $5 or one Satoshi.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to switch one Satoshi to one Bitcoin if you feel like donate. If
Yeah.
So you could do it in the page, bitcoinsmiles.org.
Mm-hmm.
You are helping us providing critical dental care to the impoverished communities, specifically here in the Pacific coastal communities. In the future, we are focused on elder people right now, but in the beginning of this year, we are involved in preventive community projects and about to accept or to uh, amplify our access to people, to the general population. So every Satoshi we could get, it's useful. Or in case you could, or you want to create a similar organization or initiative locally or anywhere in the world, it's the moment to do it. Bitcoin, it's providing us with a wonderful tool, and it's the main and most wonderful chance
Mm-hmm.
we have in the current situation and the current time to change our reality for good. So bitcoinsmiles.org, uh, it's helping to bring in the smiles to El Salvador.
Oh, that's beautiful. The entire podcast I keep smiling because this story is very inspiring.
You have a Bitcoin smile.
I have Bitcoin as well. Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
cool. That's cool.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Enrique, for your time. And yeah, people, please donate to Bitcoin Smile. Every Satoshi is meaningful for, changing the life of people in El Zonte and hopefully El Salvador, like in general, maybe not only El Zonte.
Yeah, Bitcoin fixes teeth.
Bitcoin fixes this.
Yes. So thank you so much. Hopefully, I didn't mess up anything. So it was lovely to meet you. And maybe in the near future, we are going to share time
Yeah,
personally. So
hopefully
why
so.
not?
Yeah, hopefully so.
So
Okay,
welcome
well.
to El Salvador. Here it's your casa.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Enrique. Okay, well, have a nice day.
Have a nice day too. And I have to say, Sampai Jumpa.
Sampai jumpa. Ya, terima
Okay.
kasih. Gracias, gracias.
Okay, hasta
Hasta
luego.
la vista. Hasta luego.
Hasta la vista. Hasta la vista.
Ya, bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao. Bueno.
Thank you for listening to the My Bitcoin story. Stay tuned for more episodes and click that follow button.